I could write just one song that could light up a heart wrapped in darkness one time. Step on a side street, pick up where we left off, return to the scene of the crime. Everything's fine. Sorry, I'm late. I'm filling with wine and I don't wanna wait. It seems like tonight there are billions of light bullets filling the sky full of holes. Just sit for a minute and feel like you're in it, a part, not apart from it all. Hold on to this, it's a mystical kiss. You've a lover you never have seen. She is the queen. If you hear words in a row like you heard them before, there's a reason, I'm sure. Give it a moment of thought, 'cause you own it, these meanings and melodies pure. You're not on your own. You don't listen alone. Are you gathering moss on a stone? Well, then get up and sway to the music today. You can choose it, just not on the jukebox this time. Everything's fine. Was it something I said? This new wine must have gone to my head, must have gone to my head. This new wine must have gone to my head, must have gone to my head. This new wine must have gone to my head. I wish I could write just one song that could light up a heart wrapped in darkness one time. Well, that song is called Everything's Fine, and my name is Dibbern. I'm playing some music today at this awesome studio. Thanks, y'all. And we'll just keep it rolling. That song really came about just from the first line of that song just came to me, and then the rest of the song I sort of fell out. But I wish I could write just one song that could light up a heart wrapped in darkness one time. If I could just write one song that someone might hear and go, oh, thank God I could hear that song today. And I've had people come up to me after singing that at times and say, I felt like you were singing that, for me. They needed that song in that moment. So a lot of my songs come from that feeling that I want to share a moment with people. And I also read a lot, and so, weird books and old romantic poetry stuff. I read books. And a couple springs ago, about 3 springs ago, I was still living in Nebraska. And it was one of those spring mornings that the birds were just, remarkable. I'd been reading a lot of the Transcendentalists and Thoreau and, the nature poets. And I somehow identified with the birds' caws in the morning, singing. And that's where this song came from. It's called What is a Poem Worth? What is a song, a poem worth? Ask a robin why it sings, and listen to this ancient earth when out its mouth of morning brings another gold and burning orb to sit and silently absorb the hymn of dawn from feathered things and think upon a world that sings. What is it worth, this earthen song, a garden green where we belong, a forest glen, a desert fine, a fleeting rapturous divine enchantment that will hold your gaze and take you back to early days of wonder once when as a child you wandered in the living wild. Heard a voice familiar, one you'd never heard before, like a dream you can't remember, though it woke you with a roar. And your heart repeats a rhythm of a galloping white steed, and you're face to face with darkness, awakened with a need. The sun itself out of its bed to fill the void with light, to break the fast of darkness, give a shiver and take flight across the morning sky, a witness to this miracle of earth, and never think to ask again, what is a poem worth? And you heard a voice familiar, one you'd never heard before, like a dream you can't remember, though it woke you with a roar. And your heart repeats a rhythm of a galaxy-wide stream, and you're face to face with darkness, awakened with a need. What is a song, a poem worth? Ask a robin why it sings, and listen to this ancient earth when out its mouth of morning brings another gold and burning orb to sit and silently absorb the hymn of dawn from feathered things and think upon a world that sings. Think upon a world that sings. Think upon a world that, think upon a world that sings, upon a world that, think upon a world that, think upon a world, think upon a world that sings, think upon a world that sings, think upon it, think upon a world that sings. Upon a world that sings, think upon a world, think upon a world that sings. This is not as bright a song. This song is just called Listen Please, and it was one of those kind of exercises in, I found some interesting rhymes and wanted to see how I could make it work in a song. So It was sort of an experiment.
Listen, please, I'm only gonna say it once. Ashes never dance again, it's dust to dust. Living in a broken world, living in a holy world, living in a lonely world, living in the only world. Tell me when it's ever been a better time. Fill me in, I'll open up another wine. Living in a violent world, living in a silent world, living in a giant world, living in a private world. Tell me how you made it through. Tell me what would Jesus do? Tell me how you know that's true. Tell me what it helps you do. Is it wishful thinking or legitimate? And do you believe it just a little bit? Living in an open world, living in a broken world, living in a holy world, living in the only world. Maybe we should try again. Maybe I could be your friend. Maybe I've a hand to lend. Maybe we are at the end.
Well, I mentioned that I had moved out here a few years back when I wrote the poem song. I was living in Nebraska. 2 years. This November we will be Massachusetts. So. But before that, I'd done a bunch of traveling as well. I left Nebraska at 18 and went out west, and then discovered the Grateful Dead, and was lucky enough to get hired by a touring company. So I toured around for many years. Eventually, my wife and I moved from New Jersey, where she's from, back to Nebraska to raise our daughter. But all that traveling, it sent me home periodically. And this is a song that really came from that place of being back at home after a long period of time and not feeling like you felt before you left. Like everything's a little different, feel a little lost. And that's okay. Feeling lost is all right. And that's really what this song is about.
I've been out on the West Coast Highway. I've been traveling that East Coast line. Saw some friends and they sped by me. How I miss those friends of mine. Now I find I'm lost in the middle, and I feel fine. Sometimes when I'm back in the middle, I get lost, and that's alright. 'Cause when you drive on old I-80 coast to coast, you just follow the sign. When you make it halfway, the middle seems like a little outside of time. Great Plains are great, but plain and empty as a Buddha's mind. When I'm lost on open highways, I keep dreaming I might find a way to say all the things I never said away. To say all the things I never find a way to say, to keep away a sad and lonely day away. I'm better off staying lost. 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 I'll find a way to make it back one day. Now again I wonder a little, I'm not looking for a sign. While I wander out in the middle, I let the warm wind show me mine. I follow where those breezes lead me, a saunter on a country mile. Gravel roads are made for wandering, and summer sunsets make me smile. All the things I never said away to say, all the things I never find a way to say, to keep away a sad and lonely day away. I'm better off staying lost. I'm better off staying lost. I'm better off staying lost. Better off staying lost. I'm better off staying lost. I'm better off staying lost. I'll find a way to make it back one day. Now I find I'm lost in the middle, lost in the middle, and I feel fine. Sometimes when I'm back in the middle, I get lost, and that's alright. 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 Better off staying lost.
Well, this song I thought I'd play. It's kind of a funny song. Somebody told me one time that I wrote this originally on a ukulele, and somebody heard it and they said, that's a song that Buddy Holly would play if he were a Zen Buddhist and he played ukulele. I was like, that's pretty close. All right. So this is called Trapped in a Map.
Trapped in a map in your mind, trapped in a map of your own design. You are the treasure you were trying to find. Trapped in a map in your mind. You're lost and the cost is your freedom to be. You're mostly a ghost and unable to see that you are the lover who will make you complete. But you're trapped in a map in your mind, trapped in a map of your own design. You are the treasure you were trying to find, trapped in a map in your mind. caught in a thought again and again. If you bought what they taught about original sin, if you think that it's over, it's time to begin. Just don't get trapped in a map in your mind, trapped in a map of your own design. You are the treasure you were trying to find, trapped in a map in your mind. Seeking still, we fill up our lives. All along, you're the light in the middle of the riddle of this thing called life. Pleasure and pain are a double-edged knife. The challenge is to balance in the struggle and strife. Just don't get trapped in a map in your mind, trapped in a map of your own design. You are the treasure you were trying to find, trapped in a map in your mind, trapped in a map of your own design. You are the treasure you were trying to find, trapped in a map in your mind.
Let's see, I want to play a song that I wrote really in honor of and to celebrate one of my dear friends and comrade for many years, Tim Kovar. Tim and I went to high school together. Tim is, I just turned that down, sorry, has the unique title of internationally renowned tree climbing instructor. Tim teaches people how to access the canopy in all kinds of different forests, from redwood forest to the rainforest. He's traveled all over the world to teach people how to access, the canopy. And he learned this while living in Atlanta many years ago through a group that called it recreational tree climbing. And so basically what we do is, under his guidance, we'll go up camping in trees. We'll go up in like big old trees and we'll set up these things called tree boats, which are kind of like hammocks, but they tie off at all four corners so you can stay up there and be comfortable. And we camp out. We sleep out overnight up in the trees. We've climbed redwoods. We've climbed old oak trees in lots of different environments. And there's a strange kind of comfort when you're up in a tree. You feel this connection to nature and to that tree in particular. And it's almost like, if you use your imagination a bit, you can almost imagine the trees saying, oh, welcome back. Like we'd been there, we kind of left the trees, but now we're starting to figure out how to get back. And so that's what this song is about.
Heart to the heavens, rooted in the earth, branching out above us, healing what was hurt, reaching down to lift us, swing us in the breeze, the air we breathe. She gives us a benediction of the trees. Home before our houses, cornered us inside, gentle arms around us, above the rising tide. Can you hear them calling, like music in a dream? The leaves are always falling, benediction of the trees. A shout becomes a whisper, a sermon into song. It's useless to resist her. She's where we all belong. In our sanctuary forest, beneath the Pleiades, cicadas in the chorus, in benediction to the trees. As the moon reflects the sunlight from a million miles away, I'll try to get the words right so you can hear her say, in a melody familiar that brings us to our knees, in liturgy peculiar, a benediction to the trees. Shout becomes a whisper, a sermon into song. It's useless to resist her. She's where we all belong. In our sanctuary forest, beneath the Pleiades, cicadas in the chorus, benediction of the trees. Cicadas in the chorus, benediction of the trees.
All right, so so you can kind of get a feeling for the feeling that you get up in that tree. It's very warm, it's very welcoming. I highly recommend it. Reach out if you want to get in touch. Check out treeclimbingplanet.com. You can get in touch with Tim. He does redwood climbs every year in March. So March? Yeah, March. Yeah, I think that's right. Been a fan of the poets, especially the beat poets, for many years. I was lucky enough to live on Long Beach Island in New Jersey for a while. There was a used bookstore that had these open mics. And I wrote this as a kind of a strange, beat poem. And then years later, I found this strange kind of chord progression that seemed to fit. I stuck them together. And the song ended up being called Planet Ground because of a misheard lyric. So it stuck, of course. Planet Ground.
You're breathing, you're alive. You're a bee making honey in a hive. You're a tombstone on a hill, a flower pot sitting on a windowsill. You're a dreamer, you're a locust, shifting out of frame, falling out of focus. It's a crime, it's a sign, it's a rhythm of the rain in a bottle of wine. You're lost, you're found, you're folding up paper in a bundle underground on a train, in a room, a sunflower planted on the moon. You're the ghost of a tree. An amputated limb stolen from the sea. It's a secret, it's a lie. Try as you might, you'll never know why. It's flesh and bone in the middle of a city. You're standing all alone on the petal of a rose. The scent of gun smoke burning in your nose. It's a system, it's a time, it's a planned apocalypse to shatter the mind. It's good, it's bad, it's an open door to believe in Never Never Land. It's a book, it's a word, it's a tender feather falling off a bird. It's begun, it's done, it's the shadow of the shadow of the center of the sun. It's a rhythm, it's a rhyme, it's a peek at the future in the dark of time. You're a man, you're a child, you're a woman in a rage, giving birth in the wild of a jungle. And in the sky, a spaceship's floating inches from your eye. It's a symbol, it's a god, it's a penny in a pocket or a pea in a pod. You're open year round. In the end, you're the seed planted in the ground. Open year round. In the end, you're the seed planted in the ground. Down, way down, down. Planted in the planet, planted in the planet ground. Down, way down, down. Planted in the planet, planted in the planet ground. Down, way down, down. Planted in the planet, planted in the ground.
Well, thanks for having me, Acam and 832 Studios. You guys run a seriously cool business here. This is nice. It's a great studio. I highly recommend you guys, if you're a musician, get in touch with Steve. Get out here and do this. This has been really, really nice. It'll be nice to have this to share with people. And if you're liking what I'm playing, you can find me on DerekDibbern.com. You can also find my music on Spotify and all your streaming services, so make sure and check that out.
Can I get a witness to witness my condition? Or do I need permission? Forever is a long time, but I will gladly stay here forever and a day, waiting for the song to make some sense. To me it is not obvious. I guess I'll have to start again and again. I'm always on the way there, 100 miles a day, now at 1,000 miles an hour. I'm a million light years on, waiting for for this all to make some sense. The meaning is not obvious. I guess I'll have to start again and again. Passage or a shortcut? Wish I could write just one song that could light up a heart wrapped in darkness one time. Step on a side street, pick up where we left off, return to the scene of the crime. Everything's fine.